Commence primary ignition.
Certainly, we're excited about those. There's an exciting future to come for retro. Maybe not today, we'll see, but certainly in the future.
You can't say. All right. In July, we revealed our PulseCon exclusives, and we've been excited for them to go on sale, and they are on sale now, actually.
It'll be 5 p.m. today.
5 p.m. Don't jump us.
Yes, 5 o'clock somewhere. First up was the Trapper Wolf figure. This is a fantastic figure. Dave Filoni is obviously very important to the Star Wars universe, and we're excited to see him come to life in this as this character, Trapper Wolf, in The Mandalorian, and even more thrilled to be able to get him out in a Black Series figure. We worked super hard to get that likeness spot on. Shout out to Tom, our sculptor, and Eric Miles. Great partnership to make that really capture his likeness beautifully.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, we're super pumped to get him in there with his helmet design with the wolf, and as well as his new Republic rifle there. It's looking great. One thing I did want to hit on, too, is that telescoping packaging style. You might have seen it in some of our previous convention exclusives. But now to make it extra special, we do have that black spot UV X-Wing on the front. It's looking great. It's a subtle effect that really pushes it over the edge, honestly. We had fun with some different printing techniques to get this black-on-black look. We tried a mix of matte, aqueous, spot gloss to give it that really subtle depth. And, of course, we wanted to show Trapper Wolf with his helmet off on that side illustration there, so it's really going to look great for your collage, your mural of your other Black Series figures. We're pumped on that.
And can I just say, we don't normally, Vicky mentioned this, Miles first panel, we don't normally have engineering. It's great to have engineering there. I feel like I just learned a ton. So thank you, Miles.
Absolutely, glad to be here.
We're always teaching Patrick new stuff.
Here and there.
There we go. All right.
Brutal. Sorry, Chris.
Yeah. Well, and I think you guys know, like, we shared a few months ago that Jon Favreau came to visit our studio, and on that tour, he saw this figure. It set off this whole chain of events where he got on FaceTime, he called Dave Filoni. I think Dave was out on a hike or something. He was walking around showing Dave the whole team and laughing and joking with each other about the figure. And I think John was teasing him about how well his figure might sell. So,
or not. He was just going for it, yeah.
He was just digging into him. So fun little peek at the competition and friendship between those two guys.
That was a cool special moment for the whole team that was involved in that, and it's fun to see them geek about our stuff because we're always geeking about their stuff. So best of both worlds right there.
Absolutely. All right, so to kick stuff off for the vintage collection, we'd love to talk to you about the Emperor, the villain of Star Wars, and our original 96 character that we really wanted to get into the vintage line. So we wanted to celebrate this guy with a deluxe release for a PulseCon exclusive. And just to tell you guys a little bit about the development of this figure, this was originally planned in our line plans as sort of a figure only with a couple of accessory pieces. But, as designers, we don't always get to do these, convention exclusives. This is when we get to build something a little more deluxe, build something that's got a little bit of extra drama to it. And so I just wanted to bring in some pieces that would really set the scene. These world-building pieces. And so we brought in the chair, and then we brought in the, window behind the throne. And those pieces are just helping to create the scene right out of the movie. We also wanted to bring in separate heads, and with those separate heads from the main line and the exclusive release, we're offering the Emperor in really different moments right out of the movie. We also, we dug into the illustration on the window, and we have, it's a piece that if you swivel the little tabs on it, you can flip it around, and on one side it has, a scene of space clean, and on the other side, the battle that was happening outside. And we wanted that to be a piece that was also really durable, so we sourced this, firm cardstock. You can knock on it.
Yeah, it feels like plywood. It's crazy,
Because we know you want this to last and not, be flimsy as a piece on your shelf. And so, this was just such a fun one. And I think as a Hasbro designer, what's awesome is that when I get inspired to take it a little extra, so does my packaging team. And that inspiration kind of goes throughout the team. So I have to give a shout out to our packaging designer, Ryan, who just created this incredible package.
It's awesome.
Everybody that's seen it is it's a wow moment as you pull up that slip cover and it sort of falls open into a pop out of the even bigger window behind the Emperor. Another thing about this package, it's got a right panel that has that force lightning, which sort of breaks the frame. And that's a trick that was done in the film to create that sort of 3D effect. So we just loved putting all of these little touches into this exclusive, and we hope you love it too.
That's awesome. And these are great items. They're such passion projects, and it's so great to get these into the line and just kind of let the imagination run wild. And we've talked about two. Do we have a third one where we can talk about maybe for the Black Series? I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, so finally, for the Lucasfilm 50th anniversary, which has been a big part of the line this year, celebrating all of our major milestones for Star Wars in this journey, we wanted to highlight this in our PulseCon exclusive as well, with an item tied to the Power of the Force line in the 1990s, and harkening back to one of the most iconic scenes in the original 1977 film, the Mos Eisley Cantina. So this was a great opportunity to finally get the Cantina bar into the line. This was the first chance we've had to do so. And we had some really cool reference of the original set and different shots of the bar tabs. As we know, the original IG-11 head was on the bar tabs that was later used for IG-11, which is really cool to be able to bring that into this set. So we have a cool new Tampa weathering technique on the side of the bar to get some staining on the wall of the bar. We're really happy with how that turned out. And we have Ponda Baba and Dr. Vazon, which are brand new to the line. These are two new characters we have not had in the line before. So we worked to really focus on their original Episode 4 appearance as opposed to their Rogue One look. This is also the first time that Obi-Wan Kenobi has had photoreal deco in his movie-accurate colors. Previously, we had done him in the counterline.
There's a full
So
screen.
we included 3 bar cups, so each figure can have a drink at the bar, and we wanted to maintain that the original proportions of the original package. So we also included half of the bar here, once again harkening back to that original set. But of course, for fans who want to build out the full bar, there's an option to build that out as well. We really wanted to build in that modularity into the set and being able to build out the different configurations of the bar. So the packaging was a lot of fun with the artwork recreated in a slightly larger scale to fit the figures. And all 3 of these sets are currently available on Hasbro Pulse in the US, Canada, and the UK at 5 p.m.
Yeah, that's such a great set. I love the modularity of it.
Yeah.
Buy multiples and you can have that full round of the bar.
Mm-hmm.
It worked out really well.
Yeah, we worked really closely to try to make sure that, like, there's the iconic configuration, and then there's, now that we've seen that bar show up in multiple places between the Mandalorian and Galaxy's Edge, there's now multiple versions of that.
Yeah, to get that little peninsula shape and stuff with a couple sets, it's really beautiful stuff. So,
and it's great. Like, one of the reasons I've loved the Lucasfilm First 50 Years program is, obviously, we love the new entertainment that kind of we're seeing on screens, but such a great history throughout the saga, throughout Lucasfilm and the movies and the shows, and so love that we were able to have this opportunity to bring that iconic location from the first Star Wars movie to life.
Fan favorite for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Kudos.
Yeah.
all right, well, let's move on to some new reveals.
There we go.
We'll start with TVC, but we'll hold a couple more of those for the end too. So, but our first TVC reveals are our first specialty wave for 2022. So again, with a specialty wave like these are intended for our global markets and newer fans wanting to get some of the main characters they might not have had a chance to before. So these are purely a bonus for the line. So don't worry that these are taken away from something else.
Yeah.
These are on top of everything else you're already getting.
We want to welcome you in whenever you're ready to come into Star Wars, so make sure we can get them back out.
Exactly, like bringing stuff in and sprinkling things that we can in wherever we can. So, starting in 2022, these will be a separate SKU, so they won't block any mainline waves. Like I said, and this first wave has a prequel era theme to it. So we'll move on to our first reveal and start with our first one.
Yeah.
The prequel films, all being about the origins of Darth Vader, and of course, where we see Anakin for the first time. So we have to go back and bring back. Yeah, there we go.
There we go.
VC 80, Anakin Skywalker.
Oh, little Annie.
So this time we're looking at this guy with photoreal deco for the very first time, which was kind of a fun little adventure. Like the first time we tried this, we didn't quite get it. We maybe went a little heavy on his eyes, and under the lighting, you might be able to see him there. He looks really great now, but
he does.
initially his eyes were a little dark and kind of rocking a little Sith vibe. I think a little too early. Yeah,
Too much foreshadowing.
Photoreal fail. It was like a little too evil, a little too early.
Yep.
But now he looks great.
But now he's awesome. Yeah, we worked all through that. Now he's back to nice, innocent Anna.
That's great.
All right, and for our next specialty wave reveal, Anakin Skywalker becomes a powerful Jedi over the course of the prequel films. And our next item is a character who was also a powerful Jedi from the very beginning. And that is VC-35 Mace Windu. All right, so for this one, as we look to re-release these Jedi who have these soft goods robes, we really sort of wanted to redo the sewing pattern. And when it's big and baggy, we wanted to sort of tighten it up and make it a little more heroic. So you're going to see that soft goods start to fit better on these re-releases. And we're just super excited to have Mace coming back into the line.
Yeah, he's looking stylish.
Absolutely. And then for the next figure in this wave, he's going to be a pretty big deal in 2022, you might have heard. This is, let's just say, definitely not the only figure of this character that you'll see in 2022. But it was one of the first entries in the Vintage Collection line, and that is VC-31 Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Obi-Wan.
All right, for Obi-Wan as well. And
Vintage
again,
Jedi.
as we do these Jedi that have that soft goods robe, we're looking to finesse the pattern and the fit. I think it's actually going to be even better
Oh, we
than you're
love
seeing
them
there.
robes.
And we just brought him to life with photoreal deco. So yeah, very excited to get this guy into the line for his newest entry.
That's awesome. Yeah, it's great seeing him come back in the line again for those newer fans. And again, we know there have been some issues in the past. These will be on a separate peg, so no concerns about blocking main line. Our final item in this wave, actually, so this character, we kind of laid the breadcrumbs here, set up the mystery, so see if you can figure it out. This character actually wasn't in the prequel films, but has become one of the most beloved characters in Star Wars. Will also be just like the character over there. We'll be seeing a lot more of her in years to come. Can you
Wait
figure it
for
out?
it.
It's VC-102 Ahsoka.
Oh,
so this is a
wow.
sought after figure. We are excited to get her back in line again. Great character. Newer fans definitely want to add her to their collections, but we know that there's certainly some fans who didn't get her the first time. So great to get her back out there.
Oh,
and again,
goodness.
I know we mentioned the photoreal deco. It's been in the line for
Girls coming back.
2-3 years at this point. Just it's so transformative to these figures. That photoreal deco for Ahsoka, just critical in bringing her unique and distinctive facial markings to life. With this figure again, and I love how Emily, these are technically reissues, but you take such pride in really making them the best possible version. It's not just a reissue. There's the little details. So for her, Emily did an amazing job of shifting that skin tone ever so slightly to make it match more closely to the show and be the best ever version that we've done of Ahsoka from the Clone Wars. So nice job. She looks awesome. They all look great.
Amazing.
These 4 figures, the 3 that we saw in the Ahsoka, are available. They will be available at most major retailers, certainly including Hasbro Pulse. That's for the U.S., Canada, and the U.K. And they'll be available for pre-order today at 5 p.m. That's Eastern Time in the U.S. So, look at your time zone converters and figure out for where you are. And ultimately, they'll be on shelf, in your brick and mortar retailers or online, but they'll be actually for sale in the summer of 2022. So that is our first reveals, our vintage specialty wave. Let's move on. We've got some much more stuff to come. So Jing talked to us about Bring Home the Bounty, which is this great program. We're really excited about it, leading up to the Book of Boba Fett. Obviously, we can't wait for that show to come out and see where we go. We're also excited about that.
Yeah.
Obviously, Book of Boba Fett came out of Mandalorian. Spoiler alert if you haven't seen that episode from a year ago.
Catch up now,
Exactly.
right?
Go watch all of PulseCon. Watch all of PulseCon.
Yes.
But then go, if you haven't seen it, catch up on Mando.
I think that we're probably safe.
Yeah, I think so. If you're watching here, hopefully you've seen it, yeah.
There may be some
chances.
spoiler alerts in here, so
I bet you a figure or two on
Yeah,
There we
exactly.
go. And certainly, The Mandalorian continues to be a strong focus in the line. We love the show.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm sure we were up at 3 a.m., 4 a.m., like when those episodes dropped. It's such a great, newness in the Star Wars universe, but so tied into the DNA of Star Wars. So we love it. And we just love seeing those characters come to life in our product line. So we've got a big Mandalorian beat here for you today. We've got some more reveals in both the Black Series and the Vintage Collection. And we're going to be starting with the Black Series before moving on to Vintage. So the show of The Mandalorian is obviously about the character The Mandalorian. The breadcrumbs again, you can see them.
It's good. Lay them down, Patrick. Lay them down.
We learned storytelling from Lucasfilm, the best in the business. So Mando has a lot of different looks in the show. And our build-up packs have been a great innovation by you guys to get those different looks out there while also building out the world of the show. We did our first Black Series build-up pack last year. I think it was that one from Season 1 with Grogu for the first time. And we revealed the latest of our build-up packs in our last live stream. So you should be seeing them on screen here, showcasing Mando in his muddy look from our Vala 7. So that was a great one, and excited to see where we go next.
Yeah, we'll see. This one might be even better. We are excited to bring this format into Season 2 with our next reveal. So it's actually the Mandalorian and Grogu from Maldo Kreese. So he's looking awesome there. So obviously this is his excursion over to that snowy planet. You'll notice that we actually tooled up a new left thigh there to make it accurate to Season 2, its little details. And we also hit it with that snowy deco treatment to make sure that he really had that frostbitten effect. And so when we did that, we have a mixture of deco splatter as well as tampo stamps, essentially, to get that variation, but consistency across the figures as well. And you can see it's also on our Grogu there, too, so it's overall. But the big thing here that you'll see is a fully newly tooled spider. Each of those articulating legs can move for a maximum heebie-jeebie effect, is how I guess I would call that.
Well timed with Halloween. There we go.
It's spooky. It's the perfect season.
They are super creepy.
Yeah.
It makes me uncomfortable holding it in my hand.
Wow, is that what it looks like in packaging?
Yeah.
Oh, the packaging is so much
You can
better.
touch it, Mom.
Yeah. I'll do it.
Yeah, you can. I'll sacrifice Jane. Thank you.
I'll protect you.
But so you'll see it. It has the legs, and it also has that really nice wash on there to get that subtle texturing, and it came out really good. And yeah, it's looking awesome. You can see there Grogu peering into that egg pretty ominously. So we're pretty pumped about getting this one into the line. And then yeah, also in its packaging, graphics team, as they always do, they can stuff. It looks killer. You can see the side graphics there, and the pack out's just looking great. It's going to fit awesome with the rest of your Black Series figures.
Oh, why not use the...
You guys are doing really cool stuff. Obviously, we saw the muddy one, the snowy one. You're doing really cool and neat and interesting things.
Use
with the
that
deco
packaging,
to
guys.
create these different looks and different textures and kind of appearances for it. So, yeah, it's an awesome entry to the line.
Unless we're going to get a vintage collection
great
one.
amount of storytelling in this pack in particular.
Yeah.
Yeah. Grogu looks a little hungry, so I'm glad the egg is in there.
He's ready to take on that spider. He's plays that well.
So this pack is available at Target in the US, Toys R Us in Canada, Fan Channel exclusive in the UK, available for pre-orders starting today, 5 p.m. Eastern Time, on shelf early 2022.
Awesome.
All right, that pack was awesome, Miles, but I'm going to fight you for a cooler pack.
All right.
My next reveal.
Showdown.
Yeah, I'm not going to flex or anything, but it's pretty good. So continuing with the Mandalorian Season 2 focus, I'm so glad that we're doing more of that Mandalorian Season 2 in our line.
Oh my gosh, sorry, this is the vintage collection review. We saw the packaging.
Anyways, you've seen him in the outfit in the Black Series, so this vintage one looks just as great. Again, we've tooled that new thigh armor piece here to really match him up and bring that, make his on point for that Season 2 costume. We've got his snow deco on there. And Emily, of course, is always trying to get in as many rocker ankles as humanly possible to the figure. So this guy got the upgrade to the rocker ankles. And then let's talk about those spiders, right? So these are even creepier. We love these. They're just as cool as the Black Series one. And they've got several articulated limbs that you can see here. I think he's got 4 articulated limbs. And you can see that we really worked hard to make sure that this matches up with the Black Series version of the spiders. So the molded colors are the same. The deco kind of all ties in together. So, you know, you can really build your spider army.
Well, don't forget, if you've got a giant Razor Crest that needs to be attacked, like you've got 3 sizes of spiders now to pile all over it. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, you definitely have at it.
Yeah. Emily, you were telling me about some other details with this one. Anything else with the articulation?
Yeah, I think, as Vicky mentioned, you know, looking for this Mando character to have those rocker ankles is just a great opportunity to jump back in and upgrade that one.
Yeah, pose him to your heart's content.
Very cool, yeah. And this one as well won't be available for pre-order today, just to ensure that positive pre-order experience. But as always, we will make sure to announce in advance when it is available for pre-order. We know that that's important. And this item will also be on shelf, you know, physical or virtual, in 2022. So stay tuned. It's going to be great to add this one to your collections at that point.
Yeah, fantastic.
Awesome.
Love it.
I think we've got another vintage reveal next.
All right. So Vintage Collection needs one more, bite of the Mando content. So we have a really fun one for you guys today. We have more TVC reveals to come as well after this. But in Vintage Collection, we know the importance of world building. And that's certainly true for The Mandalorian, which has just built out so many incredible new locations into Star Wars in really cool ways. And we've been able to do that world building with awesome items like the HasLab Razor Crest. But we also know that playsets play an awesome role in world building. And that brings us to our final Mando reveal of the day for Vintage.
Eric was very careful bringing that up. Biggest one so far.
That's
You don't want to trash all that glassware on the counter there.
And so that is the Navarro Cantina playset. So this scene inspired us because it was such a pivotal end moment in season 1 of The Mandalorian, where the crew makes their final stand with such emotional things going on. Mando is removing his helmet for the first time. IG-11 has that moment with him. And, the other thing that made me pick this scene is just that so many characters interact here. So when I look for something to build a playset from, I'm kind of paying attention to, well, can I only put 1 or 2 figures there? Or can I bring them all together? And this is one of those spots where you've got your heroes holding up inside the bar, you've got Moff Gideon's forces outside the window shooting in, and it's just bringing all of that together on your shelf at once. So that was a super fun location for us. So some things that were super fun about this, we wanted to really create all of this detail that you see in the barware and the bar. That's something we
A lot of focus on barware with this team.
for bars.
And all the pre-orders are at 5 o'clock.
Definitely been the theme today.
It might be. All right. So yeah, we thought the bar was really fun to capture. It's got all of this awesome little glassware. It's got these decanters and these little frames that actually can unstack and stack into different configurations. And, the other thing that I thought is this is kind of a scene where there's a before and after. So we built that in. And what you'll notice in this playset is that this window piece, you can swivel the tabs on the back and flip it to go from a pristine window to a shot-out window.
Awesome.
And the same thing came true in the bar pieces here, where we've recreated some that are pristine and some that are totally battle damaged and shot up from that.
I love the choice of the cardboard on this because that really allows you to it's such a great pop of detail in this set.
Yeah, it was really fun what we could do with the illustration there.
Yeah.
And just another little detail that I love about this one, I think we talked earlier in Eric's item about the IG-11 head that were in the original Cantina bar, and they recreated that as well in this Mando Cantina with the little lanterns that hang over the window.
And can I just say, Emily, normally we're doing these at home and doing figures with our hands. It was nice. I missed seeing your hand there. It's an old friend from Livestream. So we apologize, fans, if you're not seeing enough of our hands.
Yeah, there you go. Just for you guys. All right, and the package on this one, just as fun. I know our team has an awesome time with the photo shoots. So it's bringing, that amazing shot of the full bar into the front panel, but it's also got some really fun details on the side panels. So I have to show you one of my favorites is over here on this side, where you can see through the window Moff Gideon and his forces lying in wait out there as Mando is defending inside. So fun little shots like that just really brought this package together.
That's fantastic. Yeah, no, if security needs to check Vicky for Cobb Vanth, I'm going to somehow try to smuggle that one out under my shirt at the end of the show.
I think one thing that the package can show you that we haven't quite shown you on the product sample is this top panel, which is going to show off that this playset actually is going to be better if you bring 2 together. It's going to create an even more accurate scene because the actual Cantina, it had a front and a back bar. You're going to get more barware and more bar stools and double doorways. So this is just another one of those items where 1 is going to create a great scene, but 2 is going to make it even better.
Yeah, there we go. There's a great close-up shot.
Nice. Okay. All right. And the trooper that we brought into this is a Death Trooper. What we like to do with a playset where we're encouraging the purchase of multiple is offer someone who's a troop builder, because then it's really fun. You can just add to your army. And so this is a Death Trooper on the standard Mandalorian card back for the first time. And he's really fun to bring into the Mandalorian line. All right.
So many great scenes for that set.
Absolutely.
Very cool. Awesome. So that is it for the Mandalorian today. But just for today, again, Mandalorian remains a huge focus. You will definitely see more Mandalorian in the future. This playset right here is available at most major retailers, including Hasbro Pulse. And again, that's in the US, Canada, and the UK. It's available for pre-order today at, a lot of suspense here, 5 p.m. Eastern Time. You'll see some consistency there. And again, it'll be on shelf in the spring of 2022. So again, Mandalorian, it's going to be a huge part of Bring Home the Bounty throughout the fall. We can guarantee right here, promising you will see more Mandalorian product in both Black Series and the Vintage Collection throughout the fall. So get excited for that. So again, that's it for Mandalorian, but we will stay with the Vintage Collection for our final. It's not vinyl. No vinyl here. Our final Vintage Collection product reveal for the day. We do have a few Vintage Collection pipeline reveals to come, so stay tuned for those. But first, we introduced a new format on our last live stream to help with that world building that is so central to Vintage Collection. You know, we've talked about it with the playset, with the world building sets. That is our Troop Builder Pack. So
Awesome.
Our first entry in that format on our last live stream was the king of troop builders, the Imperial Stormtrooper. Got to start any program like that with that classic Imperial Trooper. And we love seeing the great positive response to that first reveal. We've said in the past, you know, we like reading online. We want to stay close and hear what you guys are saying. And we were really excited. We love that pack. We were excited that you guys were as well. So that Imperial Stormtrooper Troop Builder Pack will be great for fleshing out things like our Cantina 4 playset, released earlier this year that you'll see up on screen. You know, you can see the breadcrumbs here. You know, see if you're figuring this out. We did say that we have big future plans for that program. It wasn't just a one-off, and our next reveal is the next entry in that program. So again, you may see where this is going.
Patrick, there's only one trooper in that image.
He looks lonely.
It's true. I know. The breadcrumbs continue. So, to your point, Chris, those Imperial Stormtroopers invading that Cantina 4 are going to need someone to fight. Who could it be?
Dun, 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 dun.
It's our Rebel Fleet Trooper Pack. So
Pretty
here we love this again. To your point, Chris, he was lonely. You know, he needed to go. He needed to go to the cantina.
Oh, awesome.
So we're excited to get this pack out, build out that Cantina playset. And here you can see the lineup right here. You're seeing something new that we're doing with these packs. We wanted to celebrate certainly the original Rebel Fleet Troopers from the movie, but we also wanted to bring some more diversity into the galaxy. We're always excited about that. So you can see here the first two portraits. Oh, look at that. The first two portraits are based on. The first two portraits are based on Captain Antilles. You know, God bless, and Lieutenant Scrambus. Scrambus? I don't know.
I say like scrambled eggs.
There we go.
Scrambus.
I love it. So those two characters have very iconic scenes, and obviously Lieutenant Scrambus is one of the first rebels you see. You know, he's got that mixture of dread and determination on his face. Maybe it's hunger for some scrambled eggs. I don't know. And of course, who can forget Captain Antilles' scene with Darth Vader? But following those two,
Still choked up about that.
I know. Moment of silence. Following those two, we worked closely with Lucasfilm to create two new portraits. You'll see them right there.
Awesome.
Those two new portraits to deliver that more diverse and awesome Rebel force for your shelf. Just really wanting to build out that diversity. So those are the characters. As with our previous pack, this pack will come with 4 basic DH-17 blaster pistols and the 2 larger RC-280 rifles. So that's the product. The packaging here will follow that same established format that we did for the Imperial Stormtroopers. You can see here, we're putting it up there. The first 4 figures that come with the pack are there in the first row. And then we build out kind of on that front panel a whole host of Rebel Fleet Troopers that you can get with these Troop Builder packs. So excited about this. And again, you know, we've got big future plans. So we loved reading your thoughts online. Keep giving us those thoughts, and hopefully we'll see some more of those in the near future. So this item is available at Pulse and Shop Disney in the US, Canada, and the UK. It's available for pre-order today at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. Big surprise.
There we go.
And this one as well is going to be on shelf in the spring of 2022. Great item.
Yeah, they're awesome. They look really tough here on the package as well. Even though Vader goes through them like water, you know. But
But that's Vader.
they're ready. They're ready to put their lives on the line.
And they did. Spoiler alert. If you haven't seen a 40-plus-year-old movie, spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert.
All right.
All right, shifting gears, let's talk about Star Wars The Galaxy's Edge. I'm sure you were with us. We were all very excited when it opened in 2019, and some of us got to go to the park and do some boots on the ground research, which was amazing. Hopefully, a lot of you have been.
Some of us. Who
You
was
had to
it
do
there?
it, Patrick. Oh, okay.
I was out on paternity leave at the time. I didn't get to go. It was like child, Galaxy's Edge was a tough call.
It's not like me to gloat, but yeah, it was
I made the wrong
awesome,
choice.
and I
Sorry,
drank a
Caleb.
lot of blue milk. It was amazing, honestly. All right, so we were excited to deliver 3 Black Series items in 2019 based on this new part of the Star Wars lore, the Galaxy's Edge Park. And the figures were taken directly from the parks that tied into the experiences from the park, the First Order, the Droid Depot, and the Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run attraction. All right, we are excited to announce that there are 3 new items based on Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, and these will be available in the parks, but also on Shop Disney. Now, first of these anniversaries, one of our packs from 2019 with a collection of new characters from the successors of the Empire, the First Order. Bringing them in here. All right, let's check them out. All right, it comes with a new First Order AT-AT driver. It's the first time we've seen this trooper variant in the line. And then you can see we've got, a newly redecoed droid. Here we go. The all black and red R5 unit. Very accurate to the attraction. And then we've got a fantastic new updated head for Hux. He looks really good. I love the sculpt on this, and the photoreal deco brings it to life. Very, very nice. And of course, we need a little mouse droid. You can't have too many of them, right? And some people on the team are huge fans of mouse droids. Yeah. We recently were introduced to Emily's impersonation of mouse droid, which is alarmingly accurate.
We're getting a look inside Emily's head here, which is a wonderful place. Yeah.
Yep. All right. So those are super, super great. Let's take a look at the package. Yeah, you can say our branding for these are so great. It ties right into the look and feel of the park. And, of course, amazing collage of the characters right on the front.
Patrick, did you pose for that?
Oh, yes, that is. Yeah, absolutely. Yes. I was going to say, I hope so. Chris, you did a great job with kind of the lazy Susan there on the Cantina, and hopefully this measures up. So.
Oh, boy. Cut him off.
That's a great pack, but our next pack anniversary is one of my favorite packs from 2019 because it contained the Black Series debut of one of my favorite characters who had progressed a lot since his Star Tours days, DJ Rex, and that's the Droid Depot pack.
Awesome.
I love the posing that the team did on this one. They're they're interacting with each other. It features, kicks droid in the side. It features a brandly new tooled pit droid. You can kind of see him in here looking scared. He's not posed out this way, but we actually worked hard to get as close as possible to that fully collapsed position. So he's posed in here scared, but we can actually get him to do that. And we also have a newly tooled head for the BB unit to give us CB23 here. First seen in the Star Wars Resistance and then, of course, in the parks. And completely different color palette on him, so it really pops out of the set. We also did a redecoed KX droid, as you see in the shops in the park with paint decals and weathering to give us that really cool different markings. You can see it. It's just really awesome looking big droid. And we've also included a battle droid. So in the parks, these are remnants who have made it all the way to the Age of Resistance. We had to include a battle droid. Come on. And these are all droids. We also had to include the droid mechanic. I mean, droids need maintenance too. And then, of course, we had to include the little guy in here as well.
Yeah, he's tiny.
There we have to include him. I love Babu Frick. And for the packaging on this, I love the collage that the team does. That's the fanfare it needed. It's a beautiful pack. The collage, it's so unique, it's so beautiful. The team actually did a lot of work on that, and of course it opens into that 5th panel to show you the figures all inside. So it's a great pack.
awesome. Again, I'm leaning forward here. I'm diving across.
Well,
the
so
set.
you can see Babu Frick. He's so small. Like,
Yeah,
what,
he's
he's
in
like
there.
an
He's a
inch.
little bit
Yeah,
smaller than
I know,
Grogu
he's
even, yeah.
tiny.
Well, and still has articulation, which is just insane.
Mhm.
That's what happens when I'm not paying attention. These little tiny characters get tons of articulation, so you can
I
thank
leave the
Miles.
sculptors alone for a second. That's what
I think
happens.
Babu Frick has as much deco as that whole battle droid.
He might.
You might,
You
yeah.
gotta
well,
show some love to the little
Yeah,
guys.
we put some.
Absolutely.
He's awesome.
So our final Star Wars Galaxy's Edge item for the day is slightly different with a different focus and a lower price point. We have heroes, villains, droids, and aliens are all a huge part of Star Wars, but so are creatures.
Yeah.
So this is our brand new creature pack for the Galaxy's Edge. We have the Kowakian monkey lizards, and we actually
Awesome.
newly tooled legs for the Kowakian
Oh,
monkey
this is
lizards to
great.
achieve a more dynamic pose. Previously, this figure pretty much just had static legs. You couldn't really get him into any poses other than sitting. So we have knee articulation in there in order to allow him to be able to
Two
pose
monkey
out.
lizards,
As you can see here, we have him
porgs, a
standing,
minor.
which is awesome to be able to get
Wow.
these guys into different poses. We also have the newly decoed blue and yellow pattern that we've seen in both the Clone Wars and in the parks, as well as the original Salacious Crumb coloring that we've seen in Return of the Jedi. We also are reissuing the Minok, which we haven't seen since the 2018 Han Solo Exogorth San Diego Comic-Con item. And we also have two Porgs from the 2018 Porg pack. And as you can see here, the
They make good
Kowakian Monkey
snacks.
Lizard is, ever so lovingly holding the Porg. And
Has no
Uh-oh.
foul intentions.
no, we definitely know this. Kowakian Monkey Lizards definitely eat porgs. So this is a great companion to all those other creatures that we've had, as well as other items in the line. And we also have really cool packaging. So this is slightly smaller packaging, but it still is in that same style that we've seen with all the other items. It opens up with that fifth panel to be able to showcase all the creatures inside. We're really happy with how this is turning out. And oh yeah, it also comes with the boggling. I realized that was one thing that we were missing.
There's so much in there.
Yeah, there are so many different creatures in here
Yeah.
that I completely forgot
This
that
is
we
the
had
best
the boggling
pack.
in
I
there.
love
Yeah.
this
And
pack.
again, just really timed well for Halloween. All those different monsters.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Well, it's happened right into Eric's passion of creatures.
Oh,
too.
yeah.
Like it's
Yeah,
right in
I
his heart.
love creatures. trying to get as many creatures into the line as.
Hold that thought, Eric.
Oh
Hold
yeah,
that
no,
thought.
that'll be
That's the
later.
next panel.
Yeah.
Later.
All right. So as mentioned, these items will all be available at Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, but also on Shop Disney. They'll be in the U.S., Canada, and the UK. They won't be available for pre-order today, but will be on shelf later this year.
What's up next?
Up next, I'm glad you asked.
Wait
Get down
for
here.
it.
So, one final product reveal, and it's under our Black Series brand still, but it's not a figure, which some of you are probably guessing correctly. It is a Black Series FX Elite lightsaber. So this one, super cool. It is Leia Organa 9, so we've got some great looking here. This thing, so much fun to work on this with
Awesome.
the
Disney
copper
part,
plating
yeah.
around here, which is just beautiful. These little white details on the side. In the real prop there are mother of pearl actual inlay pieces. We worked really hard to do some pearlescent material experimentation here.
It's not often
Get
we
these
drop
away.
a mother of pearl reference on Star Wars too.
This is high level stuff.
It didn't cost that,
But-
unfortunately.
This is not real mother of pearl. But
But it's an amazing
next
simulation.
time, it is
Thank you, Todd.
Yes.
Nice work
Yes,
on that.
this was much effort from all of our team members to get to something that looked really beautiful there. So this saber is great, but it's also fun for display. Like you'll notice that the neck is maybe looking a little larger here. So what we've done is with this one we include a whole separate neck. So when you take the blade out of this, which you can with all our FX Elite sabers, you can replace this whole top third of the saber with a separate display emitter neck, so that when you want to just display the hilt, you have that. So other details on here, we've disguised the secondary feature button back here on the back as a small screw, so that it just blends into the detail of the saber, but still gives you all the functionality of that feature. Like all others, it comes packed with the display stand, so it matches right up with your other FX Elite. This one even has a special stand because of the way the the D-ring on the bottom is. It'll nest right into that stand perfectly. All the standard features of an FX Elite Saber. So all the wall cutting and the progressive ignition, all that stuff of the Saber. So really just a great tribute to that moment when we see Leia running around in the forest with Luke training.
I love this. You can't describe how beautiful this lightsaber is in hand, like versus what you're seeing.
If we get a close-up shot, I'll try and just like wiggle it around so you can get some chrome reflections and stuff here, because it's pure
gorgeous.
copper plating on there. It's really beautiful. So yeah, just great. And then the packaging's super special too. I think this is the first time we've said Leia Organa on a package.
Maybe.
It might be. So that's great. And then it's got the illustration of her where she's just kind of lifting up that visor to reveal her identity from the movie. So super fun. This will be available at most major retailers, including Hasbro Pulse in the US, Canada, and the UK, and available for pre-order today at anybody? Anyone?
5 p.m.?
5 p.m. is right. Winner. So on shelf, that's Eastern time for all of you not here with us. But on shelf, summer of 2022.
Absolutely. That's awesome. And all those items, again, 5 p.m. today. Retailers, Pulse, including the Pulse mobile app. So just launched. I dove into that. It was great time. So check that out as well. So that is it for product reveals. But don't go anywhere. As mentioned, we have some exciting pipeline reveals as well. This is something we've been doing throughout the course of the year. In this situation for pipeline reveals, we don't have product to show. So the official product reveal and pre-order will be at a future event. But again, we love just giving kind of a better glimpse into our pipeline. And we've heard great response from you all out there. So we're excited to keep that going, to reveal some more of the characters that we're doing across all segments, starting with the Black Series.
Black Series, yeah. So we have 3 pipeline reveals taken from throughout the saga today. The first of these is a pipeline reveal for Vintage, actually, our last live stream. And we heard so many great reactions from our fans, Vintage fans, that I'm sure Black Series fans are going to want this too. So of course, that's Figure and Dan.
Great.
Yeah,
There he is.
you gotta love Figurin, and
Pretty cool.
he's jamming
We're
out,
gonna need
right?
some ambiance for all these new cantinas.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Back to the Cantina.
Yeah.
Can't deny all that fleshy head.
Oh boy.
Oh god.
It can't be stopped.
Another one. Yeah, so our next pipeline reveal, we started at the beginning of our original trilogy going over to the end. Our next item is Leia from the Ewok village. A different look at the lightsaber that Chris just shown us, but of course we love Leia. We have to get her in. So really building out that return of the Jedi world for Black Series.
Yeah, for sure. That's going to be awesome. But taking it a little bit past Return of the Jedi, about 5 years to be exact, we do have another entry from The Mandalorian, seen both seasons 1 and 2. That's right, it's the New Republic security droid. So we're digging into this one now. He's already looking great.
That's
We're just pumped to
awesome.
get this one into the line in the library.
Right. The Mandalorian in both our Black Series and Vintage is just such a great breadth and really building out that world. So
Absolutely.
it's a cool looking character.
Yeah, and of course we have some vintage collection. We have 4 pipeline reveals focused on the Mandalorian, and of course also on the Clone Wars, which who doesn't love Season 7? Our first pipeline reveal is a repack, but it's another figure we're excited to get back into the line. Following in the footsteps of Echo and Fives, it is ARC Trooper Jesse. All right, released in our PulseCon exclusives last year, but we're excited to get him back into the line on a TVC card back for the very first time.
Looking
So
great.
yeah, he was really cool. All right, and up next, also seen in our Clone Wars Season 7, it will pair nicely with the Season 7 Ahsoka that's going to be released earlier this year. It's the 332nd Ahsoka Clone Trooper. It's a great compliment to our final
Awesome
First
for the
Legion
vintage
Trooper that's
collection.
also out next year. And
Looking forward to that one.
you need Ahsoka flanked by her loyalist troopers.
Not just one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But 2 at least.
They're such cool characters. It's hard to not just be looking back there. They look so great.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, our final pipeline reveals for the Vintage Collection. 2 more. First, our final one from the Clone Wars. It's here comes the breadcrumb. It's a Mandalorian, even if it's not from the Mandalorian. It's the Mandalorian Super Commando Captain. Got the right rank. He earned those captain stripes. So you see him right there. He's looking fierce and just really building out that epic final arc of the show. I'm sure you guys, when I watched Clone Wars Season 7, obviously all of Clone Wars is great, but that last arc is really theatrical level. Like, it felt like I was watching a Star Wars movie. So obviously this character is a key part of that, and excited to bring him to the Vintage Collection line. And really, again, that world of Clone Wars in the Vintage Collection, Emily's doing a great job of building that out. So
It's too fun.
it's great.
Can't wait to see this figure.
Yep. Our final Vintage Collection pipeline reveal. This one is from The Mandalorian. As we said earlier, he has many looks in the show, and this is one of those looks from Season 2. This is the Mandalorian in his trooper disguise from Morak. So we're getting these different Morak disguises out in Black Series and Vintage. Din Djarin looks great there, the great portrait. So excited to bring him to the Vintage Collection line. So get excited for him.
Yeah, I am.
How can you
Even
not
though
be?
he doesn't have the right hairstyle. I'm still looking forward to it.
There we go.
But all right, seriously, one final pipeline reveal for you guys, and that's from our Force Effects Elite line. We've looked at a lot of great new entries in that line this year, from Rey Skywalker to what you just saw, Leia Organa Saber. But none of the ones we've done yet compares to this one. This will be the first time this lightsaber's been in the Force Effects Elite line, and that is Darth Vader's lightsaber. So really looking forward to bringing that out and doing that justice like we've never done before. So that's super exciting.
It's his year. He's coming back.
It is, yeah. So again, all of these are a look further down the pipeline. So we don't expect these items to be out until next year, and in some cases, probably middle of the year, end of the year. So just be excited for these, and we want to keep you guys in the loop and staying on top of everything we're working on. So excited for that. We'll continue sharing these pipeline reveals as we go forward with other stuff.
Absolutely. That's great. Great product reveals, great pipeline reveals. And so that's it for our panel. And again, just want to say, Eric, Emily, Chris, Vicky, Jing, Miles, this is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Thank you guys. It was fun being here in person. That's our panel. What's that?
High fives for Indy.
There we go. High fives. Air high fives. High fives for the fans.
We can actually get to see each other. It's fantastic.
I know, it's great. So what you're seeing on screen now, hopefully, is a look at the rest of the schedule for PulseCon. And the Star Wars fun does not stop here. We are revealing and launching our HasLab Rancor in just a couple of minutes, so don't go anywhere. It's going to be an exciting time here with a small group of us. And then more PulseCon fun after that. So Star Wars friends, fans out there, thank you so much. This was great. May the Force be with you.
Bye,
Thanks,
everybody.
everybody.
Thank you.
But again, the Star Wars fun is not done yet. So I'm here. Let's introduce ourselves again, just in case people are tuning in.
Sure.
So again, I'm Patrick on our marketing team.
I'm Jing. I'm a brand manager for Black Series.
I'm Chris. I'm design manager over the fan side of the Star Wars Hasbro business.
And I'm Eric. I'm the designer on the Black Series.
Absolutely. So again, if you tuned in, our brand panel was all about news and reveals across the line. This segment for the next 30 minutes, one sole purpose. We are launching the first ever in history, Black Series HasLab campaign. It's going to be the Rancor. We shared that news, but today is when we're launching the campaign. Many more details are going to be revealed today. We just can't wait to dive into everything.
But we're going to wait just a second because we want to just go back in time just a second to talk about where we started all this craziness. And with the whole barge HasLab campaign to kick all that off, it was just amazing. And fans were asking for that thing for years, and our dreams came true with the ability to do that and the backing of that program. And that beat our original goal by nearly twice with close to 9,000 backers.
It was an emotional roller coaster there, as
Yeah.
I'm sure fans remember. Yeah.
And then fast forward to 2020, we launched our next HasLab campaign, the Razor Crest. And man, the Razor Crest, like that thing, I spent so much time working on that thing. I still love it so much. Like I look at it all the time.
That's when I met you for the first time.
Was
you were
on Razor Crest,
although I think this is the first time we're meeting in person, I think.
Yeah.
We've done a year and a half of virtual meetings, and it's a pleasure.
I know.
It's great.
Like, I see you from here down now. It's weird. I didn't think he had legs.
There we go.
But the Razor Crest fans really stepped up and supported that one in a massive way. I mean, we watched The Mandalorian, so we saw so many epic moments with the ship, and we knew it had to be brought to life in our vintage line. But then when fans really got a hold of that and got into that program, they just blew it out of the water. There were 28,000 backers, and way surpassing our original target goal of 6,000. So thank you guys to all the fans out there for all the support. That was just amazing.
It was a lot less.
Blew us away.
Lot less suspense. Yeah.
Super, super fun. So, but with all that, we felt like something was missing. So.
Yeah, I mean, the Razor Crest, the barge, all great. Obviously, it was great. But we have to show some love for our Black Series fans. So let's not waste any more time. You guys know it's the Rancor. Let's take a first look at our first ever Black Series HasLab campaign.
Awesome.
I love that video so much.
Yeah.
I have to say, I've seen that video way too many times, like a million times, but I still get chills.
Yeah.
That's the first time I've watched that just to watch it.
Oh.
I know, right?
It's
Just
like
enjoying
just
it.
to sit
Just
back
to
and
enjoy
enjoy.
it.
Yeah, that was
It's
a lot of
so
fun.
good, and the music and everything, it really gets you pumped up. But
And
there,
the product's great too.
no, of course, there's so much to dig in on the product. There was a lot that we threw in there. But before we even start talking about the HasLab, we want to talk about why we wanted to do the Rancor. So we started thinking HasLab back in 2017. We obviously thought across both vintage and Black Series lines. And the idea of the Rancor was in the conversation from the very beginning, given how iconic and large and historic it is. In fact, back in 2019 SDCC, we did a Rancor display for ourselves. Some of you might remember that. Some of you might have been there. It was awesome.
Eric spent a little time working on it.
Yeah,
Just a
Eric
little
was
bit of time.
there. Eric's like, I've been. It was definitely a statement piece. We've had lots of fans ask us about it, and we love the display as well. It's been on our mind, and fast forward to now, we think it's finally time to bring it to you guys, our fans. And beyond just a big attention-seeking piece that it obviously is, 2023 is also the 40th anniversary of Return of the Jedi, so it's timely. And there's so many reasons to do the Rancor as our next HasLab, but all of that aside, there's a lot of personal reasons. There was a lot of personal passion on why the team wanted to do the Rancor.
Yeah, so I'm the designer on the Rancor, and this has been one of those projects I've been trying to get into the line ever since I joined the team 6 years ago. I think every single year I pitched it in some way, shape, or form, just trying to get the Rancor in. I am a huge creature fan, as we kind of talked about in the last panel. I love monsters. I love creatures. It's one of my biggest passions, especially with Star Wars, with so many cool creatures. And the Rancor is one of my favorite, if not my favorite, just movie monster, let alone Star Wars monsters. So it was just this huge thing that we've been trying to get in. And when the project finally got greenlit, I was just so excited to finally get it out there and to be able to work on it, work with the team, work with Kim, Tom, Miles, Sheila, everybody to be able to get this thing out the door and being able to finally reveal it to you guys, it's so much fun, and it could not have come at a better time now that we have 40th anniversary for Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
I
mean, I
think
remember
he
when.
definitely squealed.
Yeah.
You're
I was gonna say, I
Yeah.
remember like when we started, like just started talking about it. I feel like Eric was bringing stuff into the meetings that you would have thought the project had been done for 6 months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was just so much energy into the project. It's great.
That's great. Yeah, it's the 40th anniversary. I know for me, going back 40 years, and I won't say exactly how old I was, but seeing Return of the Jedi for the first time, and obviously in Star Wars, Darth Vader is the ultimate villain. He's the ultimate villain, anywhere. He's amazing, terrifying, but for a child of however old I was, like the Rancor there, my parents told me later, I was like gripping the sides of my chair and like just wide-eyed, and so he is, to Eric's point, within Star Wars, like the monsteriest of the monsters that we see in the original trilogy, and yeah, it's just amazing seeing him in the video and hopefully seeing him come to the line.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So obviously, we're just going to spend the next 20 minutes or so geeking out about the Rancor. So, we talked about why the Rancor and personal memories. There's so much cool stuff jam-packed into the Rancor. So we're gonna dig deeper into those features and kind of pull them apart and really let you guys know what's going on there. So starting with the size, we mentioned earlier, this is the largest ever Black Series figure, largest we've ever done. And Eric's going to tell us a bit about kind of how that fleshes out.
Yeah, so this character, with him being a little bit like squat, and he is deceptively large because he's kind of just a cube of a character. And when we really started sculpting this and getting it in hand and also just getting the digitals, and one of the things that really helped us was that San Diego Comic-Con display that we had last year. His wingspan, his arm span from fingertip to fingertip is 42 inches wide. It's huge, and he is deceptively big, and he also stands at 17.5 inches tall, which towers over any of our other figures in the line. We're just really excited to finally get this into the line. With his arms raised up, he stands at 27 inches tall. He can reach up extremely high. And be able to get into those iconic poses unsupported was a huge part, was kind of a huge struggle for us because he's so top heavy. He has so much in his upper mass that getting him to kind of stand there and be able to actually hit all these poses was really difficult, and we're really happy with how this figure has been able to hit those poses despite his proportions.
Yeah, you guys did a great job of just nice tight joints and planning for that and clicking joints and stuff to really get him to stay. I love that sort of forward thinking. So he's not going to be just this saggy creature. He's going to be able to stand.
And being able to make sure that he had that support system in there, and being able to make sure that we had ratchets in the joint. Luckily, we had a lot of learnings from other figures that have come out before this with the Sentinel and Galactus. We were able to kind of bounce ideas off of the Marvel team to be able to get learnings on how best to achieve this figure. And yeah, like I said, as you can see here on the screen, he stands at 17.5 inches tall. So he is a large character.
Hopefully,
He's like the perfect size to pick up a 6-inch figure. I mean, he's Black
he's
scale.
in scale with.
He's in
and
scale.
it's a true scale.
Yes.
Yeah. So
recreation
what we
of
saw
him.
in the movies, the picking up and everything, it's just the perfect size for that.
Hopefully, Rancor, wherever you are out there, we're talking about him being deceptively large and so big. Hopefully, you look great, Rancor, wherever you are out there. You've never looked better.
Yeah, there's a great shot of him with the Stormtrooper next to him, so you really get a sense of scale. If you've got other Black Series figures, and I got to imagine pretty much everybody out there does.
Yeah, but you're right. He really is three-dimensional, right? It's not just about the height. He's deep. He's wide. So, but again, you look great, Rancor. And the next thing we want to dive into. So you're seeing here images of the Rancor and figures. As Chris mentioned, we have this history of HasLab projects with the Barge, with the Razor Crest, and we're going to kind of view that size compared to the Razor Crest and the Barge, and also just again in context of the full line. So, Chris, do you want to tell us a little bit about that?
I mean, you can see it there in this image. I mean, he's for a large HasLab project like this, he's right in the mix with these guys.
Yeah.
I mean, he's like Eric was saying, a 42-inch arm span when he reaches out. That's longer than the Razor Crest and almost as long as the Barge.
Yeah.
I mean,
he could lift that thing up.
Yeah, exactly. You can start King Konging things around. Yeah. But yeah, it's just super impressive. In the articulation level and the deco, all that stuff, it's just impressive how big he is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So more
Yeah.
about the articulation.
Yeah. I mean, you're setting me up the breadcrumbs. You're learning from the best. You're
Getting
learning from.
hungry.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, it's so impressive how big the Rancor is, and I think we really wanted to hone in, like, that he was just hefty in all sides. Like, there was an image with him next, the side view with him next to the Stormtrooper. It just shows the depth of him. But it's really important to talk about the posability of such a large figure, too. He's so huge, but
That's a great shot.
it doesn't mean he can't move. Like, that's so important that we worked so hard to make sure that he's a half Black Series, well-articulated figure, more than a Black Series, with over 45 points of articulation. It's more than any other Black Series figure we've had ever. So let's take a look at some of that visuals. Like, we saw the shot before he was holding up the Stormtrooper. Eric, you want to tell us a little bit more, or Chris, a little bit more about that?
I think it's just super fun. Like, looking at those shots, like, I'm just sitting here staring at the screen with everybody else. But it's in my head, I'm going, man, I love the fact that we're in a universe where we can use a Stormtrooper as the standard scale gauge for things. It's like just him picking that up and chowing down. It's great. So
Yeah, and one thing that was really important to us with this figure in particular, and being able to have those figures be able to fit into the mouth. So that's something that we really work closely with. As you can see here, he's picking up that Stormtrooper, but you can fit most figures halfway into the mouth, and being able to have that detail in there.
Yeah, and the mouth articulates for sure, like you said, but his fingers too, right?
Yeah.
To grasp that figure, like you can kind of see it a little bit, Eric, right?
Yeah, because so his hands are. We kind of did a test of this. I put my hands up to his hands. They are the size of human hands, and even the fingers
It must have been a
themselves.
tender moment there.
It was. It was just.
You
it's
and literally your baby right here, right?
It
Like,
was. Yeah, we were just like comparing hand sizes. Yeah, so it was like this great like. We knew we needed to have that finger articulation in there, especially since like the fingers are the size of Black Series figures,
which is just crazy. Yeah,
so like we really wanted to make sure that we had all that articulation in there to be able to hold and grasp all these different figures. We know he interacts with a few different figures, so being able to have that posability in there, as well as the he has different shoulder pads as well. You
guys did that with Stormtroopers and stuff. To really get those in.
Tom did a great job Tom, our sculptor, did a great job with our Stormtroopers. Originally, he had a new system for the shoulder pads that kind of traps itself inside of the shoulder joint, so that the shoulder pads can kind of flex out of the way as he's moving and articulating. Now, something we brought in here, and it was once again just learnings of what we've done in Black Series to try to bring that forward to this figure. And just because this is a large figure, it's still Black Series. We still wanted to keep that same level of articulation and kind of just love and attention to detail that we have in all of our other lines, and then plus more with this because it's just this large figure that has mouth, finger articulation, all this stuff.
Right, still keeping all that posability that we've got and everything else,
It's like the largest figure to ever have butterfly joints.
Yeah.
The Black Series, like...
Yeah,
the largest figure to have anything for Black Series.
That's true.
And the butterfly joints was something that we really wanted to have in here because he has so many poses in the movie that he gets into when he's battling Luke and Itza Gamorrean. But we really wanted to be able to have that freedom to be able to put him into any pose that you want. Even outside of the movies, we know he's made appearances in multiple video games and stuff like that. So being able to get him into these cool, iconic, and action poses,
right? All that range of motion,
exactly,
all that stuff. Yeah, that's
really to be able
great.
to like really flex his arms, to be able to pull his arms back, to be able to like get his arms up in the air and be able to like basically hug things and be able to get that and cross.
He's a sensitive guy. He hugs as well as eats. So.
He does, yeah.
Well, it's great to see the cross-pollination and just the learnings that you've pulled from the development of Black Series mainline and weaving it in here, and again making this the largest and the best ever Black Series figure ever.
Yeah, we are just so excited that we were able to take all those learnings of what we've done over the years and be able to like just have the pinnacle of a Black Series figure here at this scale.
Awesome. Yeah. No, he's so obviously the Rancor's. He's a big guy. Big guy or girl, I don't know. He's a big character, a big monster. Obviously has that articulation, but as we said, as Eric and I shared memories, like the movie, the TV shows, the video games, like that accuracy is so important, and so the Rancor has to kind of stand on that level as well. And so the team I know has put a lot of attention into those little details as well, and made sure that kind of those movie details were there as well. And so do you guys want to tell us a little bit more about that and the team and Tom and everyone else?
Yeah, so Tom, our sculptor, was lucky enough to be able to actually go to Skywalker Ranch and scan the maquette directly. He was able to go in there, scan, take photo reference of the Rancor in preparation for this figure. And he was able to then take that scan data, bring it back, and cut this figure into articulation points. One thing that is really important for a character like this, when you have characters like Stormtroopers, they have natural part breaks where you have like the armor, and you can kind of hide those articulation breaks. But for a character as organic as this, it was really important to be able to make him still look organic while not taking away from any of the functionality of that figure. So being able to hide and have those articulation points be very organic in the figure. Tom did a fantastic job with that, and he also, Tom and I worked really closely also at Lucasfilm to be able to get this thing to look exactly like it does on the screen, to make it look like the maquette that we saw, the movie, everything. So we had a great partnership there, and they were the ones that brought in Tom to go in and see this maquette originally.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And in general, like Lucasfilm, best partners in the business, but this project, not particularly because again they're great everywhere, but really saw the strength of that partnership with this project, the reference, etc.
Yeah, and we talked about that on the Razor Crest too, just how the dynamics of that relationship that we have with Lucasfilm really play so well together to do just crazy detail accurate projects like this. It's just super important to the process.
And the most important for these, right? These are kind of the centerpieces of our line, and so it's important that every little detail is right, and that's where the partnership really
do a figure this size, like you can't hide anything there.
No.
Like it's all over.
Yeah, and can you guys tell us a little bit about the detail? Because the maquette was obviously so important to capture every little detail, right? So there was a couple of details in the Rancor that you built in that,
Yeah, I love stuff like Eric and Tom, like they got in like the little earring detail that a lot of people didn't even notice in the movie. Like that sort of stuff, like earring detail, like the shackles on the arm. Yeah. It's just super fun, and like the loose chain, like all that stuff. So he's like just busted off of something. And then like even things like the teeth and the claws, and I think my favorite might be the little piece of drool. Like you can kind of see it there in those images. It's just this great little piece, and like you guys did it so it can move around in his mouth, right?
So Tom, our sculptor, like really pushed to have that drool in there. It's that like just that extra little bit of added detail. Like it really does bring a lot to it. You have that little glisten off of the drool, and Tom had the great idea as well of being able to have that be posed around. We were tossing around if we should have it be permanently placed in there because that's where it is in the movie. But we have this separate piece so you can move that around in between the teeth and be able to pose this out, or even remove it entirely and have this variety in the way that you pose out that figure. And the little piece of drool is just this like nasty little detail that we get to have fun with on these gigantic creature characters.
We buried the lead here: size, articulation, and
just the
drool. There we go.
The drool is
how much snot we can include in these.
It just shows like we really care about the details, right? And like the posability. We want fans to have fun with it. So the drool is super important to include. I think it was it's worthy of 5 minutes of conversation.
It is.
Never before have we talked so much about drool on a panel.
Yeah, and then just like to take a look at, the image, the claws and the teeth. Like this is a beast. It's a monster, right? Like we have to give it a moment. These are some. This is worthy of.
I know he's like reaching down over top of
I know, right?
You're like trying to grab.
Can't see it anymore, but we'll hold hands here when it comes back to the full view.
Yeah, and when it comes to the claws, that was something we really wanted to maintain the aesthetic of that. Like he doesn't have weapons; his weapons are his teeth. Like that is the part of him that is like it's one of his defining features: is his claws and his teeth. So we wanted to really maintain the aesthetic, still make it like a safe toy to play with, to be able to have. So we worked really closely with our team at Hasbro to be able to make sure that this thing was not only accurate to the reference that we have, but also was just a functioning product in itself.
Yeah. Solid, hefty beast of a product that can eat.
There you go.
There we go. My buddy, the Rancor.
I was getting ready to just like pluck my head off or something there. But
That was very precious, guys.
Yeah.
That was adorable.
Very,
I-
very, very precious.
man, I like just talking about him. I love looking at these images and seeing how he just looks like the maquette. Like he's a posable version of that. I mean, he's almost. I mean, he's not like solid skin like the stop motion was for the movie, but
Yeah.
I think you could probably take him and animate some little scenes and.
So Lucasfilm, if you're doing a Rancor again at some point in the future, we've got the future prop for you.
Yeah. So we talked about obviously the size and the details and all of that being accurate as well. But one thing is not accurate today. He's obviously not going to be gray. So today we're just showing you some digital gray renders, which looks awesome. But the real product is obviously going to come decoed. And to paint you a little picture, the Rancor will have over 900 deco counts.
Wow.
That's up to 9 times more than a standard Black Series figure. So it's huge. It's going to have all that attention that we want to give it.
Yeah, we're really excited to be able to eventually in the future show you guys that painted model. Our artists Grant and Kim back at Hasbro, they did a fantastic job with that. We're really excited to be able to share that with you in the future. So this does differ from figure to figure, of course, but yeah, like Jenny said, this figure does have up to like 9 times the amount of deco ops, and we're once again, it's just like being able to throw as much paint onto this thing as possible because this is a HasLab. We really wanted to like live up to that name and live up to that project, and with this thing being like such a huge beast, to your point. When you have a figure this big, like the little details stand out even more because he's so big. Like you can really see all the tiny details, especially when he's, the size of a toddler.
Like the drool.
Like the drool, exactly.
Yeah, the drool will not be. It's clear in this. It will stay clear. It won't be painted weird.
Yeah.
But
It was such a fun passion project.
It
and
was.
We worked really closely with Lucasfilm on that. So, we're lucky to have that partnership, and we're lucky to bring this to our fans.
Absolutely.
In the first ever Black Series HasLab.
yeah. It's certainly worthy of the title. I think. So,
Yeah.
Are those all the details? Anything else? Have we unpacked it?
Man, there's so much. Like, there's too much to unpack. Is the problem.
There is a lot on him, and yeah, like we're just so excited to finally be able to share with you guys and be able to show you what we've been working on for the past year. It's this gigantic project. I'm extremely excited. I'm gonna go get one immediately after this.
Right
He's
now.
excited too. Look at him. He's like,
Yeah.
Yay!
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I'm alive, please.
Yeah, I love so much about this, and like when we were talking about Cobb Vanth in the last panel, and just all the deco that goes into that figure, but just imagine that surface area over the Rancor, and it's like the same level of detail. So I'm excited to get to the point where we're talking deco and really
Yeah.
keep diving into that level of stuff.
More to come.
Yeah.
We'll share that later. Breadcrumbs. Breadcrumbs. All right, so the price was at the end of the video, but in case you missed it, $350, the same price as the Razor Crest from last year. Estimated ship is spring of 2023. It's a great way to commemorate the 40th anniversary of Star Wars Return of the Jedi to really help build out the Return of the Jedi collection in Black Series. I'm sure you guys have. 9,000 backers needed by December 6th. So that is our deadline. Mark it in your calendars. Put it in now. Back it right now.
Yeah, don't mark it. Just go back.
I'm
Yeah,
not
go
going
back
to need the
right
deadline.
now.
I'm going to be racing you guys to
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, but after December 6th, that's
that's
it.
it. You're done.
That's it. No more Rancor. And we have so many great stretch goals planned as well. The first one will be unlocked at 11,000 backers. The second one at 13,500 backers. And we'll share what that first stretch goal is once you hit 9,000 backers to unlock the Rancor. So again, unlock that Rancor. I think it might be ready now, so you might be able to do it now.
I know what's going on while we're sitting in here. People are buying things that they
Yeah,
can't.
the rest of our panel, we know what they're doing.
So we can do mine.
Yeah, and we can't wait to show you what those tiers are. So once you hit 9,000, we'll tell you exactly what that is. In the US, Canada, and UK, the campaign will be live through HasLab on hasbropulse.com and uk.hasbropulse.com. And for our loyal international fans, we definitely want to bring it to you as well. We know there is so much strong interest from our fans globally, and we are so fortunate to have so many passionate fans globally. I know you'll help us get there. And we are also fortunate to be able to partner with some great retailers in select markets. So please check with your local retailer for more information.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, again, great PulseCon slate, but I think there might be a gap here. So go back this right now. It should be live right now. Thank you all for joining us in this launch of the HasLab Rancor campaign.
Yeah,
we know that you're as excited as we are. Again, we're all going to rush and back this right now. Thanks again, Lucasfilm, great partners. Thank you for the opportunity to work on this. And of course, thanks to you, our fans, for tuning in and backing it. You know, I hope I'm going to be able to add this to my collection, but it's all dependent on you guys, the fans. Let's release the Rancor. You know, let's bring this unprecedented project to life. Thank you all. Go back it now. Have a good rest of PulseCon. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, everybody.
Get ready.
I'm just a simple man trying to make my way in the universe.